Good evening, everyone. It's 6 o'clock and time to call to order this February 19th, 2019 meeting of the Gallatin City Council. We'll begin this meeting like we do every meeting with the invocation, the Pledge of Allegiance. Councilman Alexander is going to offer the invocation. Vice Mayor Camp is going to lead us in the pledge. If you'll stand with me, please.
Let every heart pray. Eternal gracious God, once again we come to say thank you for this beautiful rainy night. We thank you for this city and what it stands for, and all our department heads and all of those who play an important role in this city. I pray, God, that everything we say and do in this place tonight will be pleasing in your sight. In Jesus' name I do pray, and every heart said, Amen.
Please place the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now, Ms. Kittrell will call the roll for us, please.
Vice Mayor Camp.
Present.
Mr. Alexander.
Present.
Mr. Fan.
Present.
Mr. Fennell.
Here.
Mr. Hayes.
Present.
Ms. Love. Here. And Mr. Overton.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Thank you very much. There are no minutes provided this evening, so we'll move ahead to public recognition on agenda-related items. This is the time of the meeting where anyone who is here to observe the meeting may also comment on any item that is on the agenda. If you wish to comment on something that's not on tonight's agenda, you'll also have an opportunity to do that. However, that's at the end of the meeting. Right now, though, if you'd like to comment on an agenda-related item, you'll come forward, give us your name and address, and you'll have 5 minutes to speak. And public recognition on agenda-related items is now open.
Hello, my name is Michelle Landry Juvance, 1335 Long Hollow Pike. I just wanted to comment about the number 6, the state historic tax incentive, because I think that this is great, and I hope that you're all going to vote yes, and I think that well, I just hope that this goes through. And then I was thinking about that when I saw it on here, and I was thinking about a lot of other types of properties too that could possibly get some recognition. So I was wanting to propose that the city would implement maybe a scenic beauty credit for certain kinds of properties. I think that this would probably be something more local, like a Gallatin thing, because there are certain kinds of properties that I think that we all enjoy. The city of Gallatin obviously has, I mean, is Gallatin actually older than Tennessee? I think it might be. And so we have a lot of historic, really, really important historic charm in this city that like we have in Main Street, which we're all talking about here tonight with this. But then also there are other things too that add to the charm of Gallatin, which would be like rural charm as well. For example, I just was thinking about Drew Maddox Farm. You know, if we're driving along the 386 highway and you look to your left if you're coming into town and you see this beautiful manicured farm, and I think if there was some sort of a scenic beauty credit that could be given to certain property owners who actually do things like keep a very beautiful scenic property for us all to enjoy, that would be a nice incentive for people like that to keep their properties, because they spend their own money and they spend their own resources and time to do that, and we all get to enjoy what they're doing. You know, if you go down Long Hollow Pike, one of my neighbors is a very iconic Gallatin property, the one with the iron horses out front. I think everybody knows that, because when I talk about, oh, I live on Long Hollow Pike, they say, oh, is it the one near the iron horses? You know, and here's a property owner who's maintaining something just gorgeous and beautiful for us to look at. So I think that if you could all consider, you know, along the same idea of this kind of thing that, you know, you're asking for the governor to consider, but to consider something for Gallatin that would be, you know, a scenic beauty sort of credit towards certain types of property owners like that. And that was just kind of what I thought of as well as when I noticed this. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Javance. Anyone else wishing to speak under public recognition on agenda-related items tonight? Why is everybody on that side of the room? It's so weird. Mr. DeVore? Thank you. Okay, with that, I see no one else indicating they wish to speak, so I'll declare public recognition on agenda-related items closed. We'll move on to mayor's comments. I just have a few things this evening, I believe, and this is for the council. I believe Angela's reached out to you or tried to reach out to you all. We do need a response on attending the Shalom Zone dinner. That's coming up on the 8th, on the 8th of March. And let her know if you'd like to come or if you and a guest would like to come, and she will make those reservations. I think they're due the first of the week, so if you would let her know about that. Also, this Friday is Good Morning Gallatin, sponsored by the Gallatin Chamber, formerly known as the Government Relations Meeting. It's at Sumner Regional. It is open to the public. This month's focus, I believe, is Sumner County. However, the state legislators are usually really good about being there and updating everyone on pending legislation, so it's always interesting to attend. This Saturday is the Gallatin Firefighters Benevolence Pancake Breakfast. That's at Gallatin First Baptist Church on Main Street. That's from 7 until 11. Next Friday, and I'm going to mention this because a lot of people have been interested in this, although I don't always mention ribbon cuttings, but next Friday at 11 a.m. is the ribbon cutting for the new VA clinic here in Gallatin on Steam Plant Road. So I know a lot of people are looking forward to that. Also on Friday is the 2019 World Day of Prayer. That's going to be celebrated at noon at Gallatin Church of Christ. And I believe that would conclude my comments at this time, and we will move on to the agenda. And the first item on this evening's agenda is a second reading. It's on ordinance 01901-2, and for that, Vice Mayor Camp is recognized.
Thank you, Mayor. This is an ordinance appropriating $50,000 for the Gallatin Music Festival. So moved.
Motion by Vice Mayor Camp, second by Councilman Alexander. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, this is second reading on ordinance 01901-2. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Opposed, please say no. Does pass unanimously. Item number 2 is first reading on ordinance 01902-3. Councilman Alexander.
Thank you, Mayor. This ordinance appropriating funds in the amount of $75,000 for radio infrastructure generated in buildings, and I so move.
It's actually 70.
What did I say?
75.
I got 70 on my paper.
Well, that's what it's supposed to be. You said 75.
Oh, I'm sorry. $70,000. I'm so sorry. I got one good eye.
I didn't want them to get too excited and get more money.
Okay, in the amount of $70,000. Sorry, Chief.
Motion by Councilman Alexander,
Well, I just
second by
said about
Councilwoman
that.
Love. Is there any discussion on this? This is first reading on ordinance 01902-3. All in favor say aye. Opposed, please say no. It does pass unanimously. Item 3 is a first reading on ordinance 01902-4. Councilman Hayes.
Yeah, this is an ordinance of the City of Gallatin, Tennessee, rezoning 2 lots totaling 6.98 acres from the GO General Office District to the Mixed-Use District with a preliminary master development plan for Avondale Farms located south of Nashville Pike and east of Chute Lane, authorizing the revision to be indicated on the official zoning atlas, repealing conflicting ordinances, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date. Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion by Councilman Hayes, a second by Councilman Fennell. Is there any discussion on this? Any questions? All right, this is first reading on ordinance 01902. Did you have something, Ms. Love? Okay. 01902-4. All in favor say aye. Opposed say no. Does pass unanimously. Item 4 is first reading on ordinance 01902-6. And Councilman Overton.
Thank you, Mayor. This ordinance, City of Gallatin, Sumner County, Tennessee, approving a preliminary master development plan for the shops at Payne on 1.722 acre lot. Tax map 126P Group A, partial 021-00, located southwest corner of the intersection of Nashville Pike and Davis Drive, authorizing provisions to be indicated on official zoning atlas, repealing conflict of ordinances, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date. And I so move with the caveat, that they put a brick fence behind it.
Okay, I think it would be proper to make a motion and then offer an amendment.
So moved.
Okay, so I have a motion by Councilman Overton, a second by Councilman Hayes, opening the floor for discussion. and
Motion to amend
Councilman Overton is,
Second on the amendment.
with a brick fence.
well, would you articulate the amendment, please?
we discussed that planning, that what kind of fence we wanted, and it was discussed, and we just, and I want to see us put a brick fence up behind the property.
To match the other.
To match
that's
the other
going
brick
down
fence
through
that's
there.
behind the
Yeah.
bank.
Okay, so I have a motion by Councilman Overton and a second on that by Councilman Hayes, correct? Councilman Hayes? Correct? Second by you?
Yes.
Okay.
uh-huh.
And Councilwoman Love is seeking recognition.
Well, I just was gonna ask if it was gonna match the one behind the,
Okay.
and then that was answered.
Okay. Is there any further discussion on the amendment? Okay, all those in favor of the amendment, please say aye. Opposed, please say no, which takes us back to the original motion now as amended. Is there any discussion on that? Okay, seeing no one wishing to discuss, this is first reading on ordinance 01902-6. All in favor, please say aye. Opposed, please say no. As amended. Item number 5 is resolution R1902-11. Councilman Hayes.
Yeah, this is a resolution approving a hold harmless agreement with certificate of liability insurance to use portions of the Plantation Boulevard and Rosella rights-of-way in Fairview Plantation Phase 6, Section 1 and Section 2 subdivisions for the installation and maintenance of street trees for the Fairview Plantation Homeowners Association. Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Hayes, second by Councilman Fennell. Is there any discussion on this? Okay, this is resolution R1902-11. All in favor say aye, please. Opposed say no. Does pass unanimously. Item 6 is resolution R1902-12. Councilman Fennell.
Thank you, Mayor. This is a resolution urging the Tennessee legislature and Governor Bill Lee to adopt a state historic tax incentive titled the Main Street Historic Rehabilitation Tourism Revitalization. I so move.
Okay, motion by Councilman Fennell, second by Councilman Alexander. Is there any discussion? This is resolution R1902-12. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Does pass unanimously. That concludes the regular agenda and brings us now to other business, and so I would entertain any other business from this council. No one's looking like they have anything, which is okay. We move now to public recognition on non-agenda related items. You may come forward and speak on any item that your heart may desire at this time. So public recognition on non-agenda related items is now open.
Good evening. Pascal Jovans, 1335 Long Hollow Pike. Couple of things. I heard the city is planning on spending $2-something million on buying green space. And I was kind of surprised because I'm not that smart, but common sense talking, I think, why don't we force or we make sure that the new development have enough green space instead of cramming all these houses on top of each other, so the city doesn't have to pay all that money to buy green space. That's just an idea. And the second, about stormwater fees. I received a bill where I get charged stormwater fees, and I was thinking my property will be exempt because our stormwater go in a creek, the creek go in a river, the river go somewhere, nothing to do with city water. So I called, I think that was engineering, where I got a nice lady on the phone who basically after 30-minute conversation told me that I was paying money to get my creek clean. So when I say, great, you're going to send somebody to clean the creek, the lady told me, sorry, we can't send somebody on a private property. That was kind of surprised because I spend a lot of time cleaning my creek so the water is clean, and I pay money for that. So I was wondering if I could send you a bill for my time and the effort I make on cleaning all the water in my creek. And I will be glad to pay the stormwater fees on the other side. except I'm gonna be a little more expensive than the stormwater fees I have to pay.
Yeah, that's an excellent thought, and I think everybody that cleans the ditches in front of their houses feels the same, and those of us who have creeks, yep, it's no fun. But interesting thought.
Yeah,
Appreciate that.
so who do I send the bill for?
Oh. Fortunately, it doesn't work that way. They're going to try and take care of the barriers that are in the streams. They're going to keep water from backing up on your property. But we want everybody to do what they can in their own property, you know.
So we need a lot less barrier because there's a lot of water backing up on the property.
Right now, with
Yeah.
with the rain, I can
Yeah.
understand. Yeah, we can't control the rain. We're trying to help the streams and the storm drains, but I don't know that we can help when it rains like this.
So I'm still trying to understand why our property is not exempt, because I kind of read the 60-something pages.
Okay, now, Mr. Javons, this is a
Yes,
time for
ma'am.
public comment, not for debate, but I will offer that the stormwater fee is an effort to help the city of Gallatin, what's the word I'm looking for? Meet the requirements of our MS4 permit, which is a federally mandated permit that we have to spend a lot of money to be in compliance. And those things include taking care of all the runoff off of all of the property, and every homeowner and every business owner in the city is charged based on the amount of impervious structure or surface that they have on their property. Mr. Tuttle, am I saying this right? Okay, he says I'm saying it right. And right there is the engineer that can help you with all kinds of things.
Hello, Nick. We're gonna talk. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
I might have a solution. Michelle Juvance, 1335 Long Hollow Pike. So we were surprised. We were expecting that we would be exempt because when I read the rule, it said that any property that didn't drain into the the word was stormwater facilities would be exempt. So then we were surprised when we got the bill. So then last night I read through everything, all the pages, all the rules, and I realized, okay, so actually the definition of that facility includes streams and creeks. So I thought, well, we probably should be getting the credit because I saw that, some people should have credits. So I thought, well, we should probably get a credit because of our, the percentage of our property is less than 2% impervious surfaces compared to the open green space that we actually have, which, certain properties are like that where you have, it seems like a lot, like, oh, Michelle and Pascal, wow, you have so much impervious surfaces because, you have 11,000 square feet and you're on the top tier and this is what you have to pay. But then if you look at the percentage, it's actually only 1.1 3/4% of impervious surface compared to our actual green space. So when I looked at the other exemption, it was kind of weird, like number 4 down the line actually says, if you on one lot have 500 or less square feet of impervious surface, then you're exempt. But how big is the lot? So it was kind of a weird rule because if you look at that and just think, okay, so 500 square feet on a lot, how big? Like an acre or a half an acre? Like how big of a lot? So it doesn't say. So if it said a percentage, if it was a half acre percentage, I did the math and that would be like more than 2% of impervious surface, where we actually have less than 2%. So it kind of was like, we should be exempt. But I think that properties like ours, and I actually, like reading through all of that, I realized, wow, our city employees are working super hard and they like did a lot of really good work. And, like we appreciate what everybody's doing, but I think that maybe there's just so much work to do that like certain properties like ours kind of maybe got left out, like didn't get considered. Because I think that what we do, like my neighbors and us, like me and my husband, we do things that actually benefit the city because of having a lot of open space that actually absorbs the rainwater. It's not been developed. Most of our land, we have almost 15 acres that has not been developed, and it's like soaking in and it's holding the groundwater, and then it's has like the streams and the creeks that we do keep clean, and we pick up trash, a lot of trash that comes from upstream, and we clear out the big logs that come down, and we pull those out. And we also are on Long Hollow Pike, you know, and there's a lot of trash that blows onto our property that, you know, people throw their fast food out their car, and then the stuff blows out of people's trucks, and that's just how it is. It's not a big deal. We're not complaining. Like, that's just how it is. We clean up the trash. But it was just kind of like feeling like we were getting punished for, you know, like, oh wow, we have to pay this little tiny $9 fee every month, and it's not the $9. Like, who cares about $9? But it's the idea that, like, instead of saying, wow, you guys, you know, thanks for like all the work that you're doing to like keep your creek clean, it's like you have to pay extra money, you know. So I think it's just kind of like people like us and our neighbors who were like, oh, we should be exempt. And if you practically think about that, and common sense says, yeah, you should be exempt. You should have in that list of credits, like it should be like a percentage of, instead of like just 500 square feet on a lot, and then we would be exempt, and people would be happy. And for example, like, this has nothing to do with stormwater fees. The new Harris Lane turn, like onto Long Hollow Pike, right there where they have the Liberty Creek subdivision that people are pissed off about in my neighborhood. And then when you come down Harris Lane, and you used to be able to turn left onto Long Hollow Pike, but now they've put up like a little divider, and you know, it's for safety reasons, and that's fine. And I think that's good that, you know, that is there now. But that sign is not there since, I think, yesterday. Like, it had bullet holes in it the first couple of days that it was because people are pissed off, you know. And today it's literally like bent over, like the sign is bent over and on the ground. So somebody's been beating that sign with something and like knocking it down. So, you know, people are just mad. So you start throwing things like little stormwater fees on people who have agricultural properties that they've been taking care of for so many years. You know, it's just little things are going to eat away at all of the neighbors and all of your constituents. So just consider that. You know, I think it's important. Anyway, that's all I have to say.
I actually agree with you on that one. My parents have, 140 acres, and they're also paying the top tier of the stormwater fee, and I've had that discussion. But based on what everybody does everywhere, that's how we're doing it. But I would love to
you have the
entertain some
power to
exemptions.
make that decision, to say, like, you know, because there are certain rules there, you know, and you can say, well, let's change that rule to be a percentage instead of like 500 square feet per lot. And then you would have not a lot of people, but certain people that would be super happy, and they would say, wow, okay, that makes a lot more sense. Thank you. So.
Thank you. Mr. Tuttle? I don't need any comment. I'm just saying, think about it. Anyone else wishing to speak under public comment on non-agenda related items this evening? Anyone have anything else? Okay. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Motion to adjourn by Councilman Overton. Second by Councilman Fennell. All in favor, please say aye. Everyone have a lovely evening. We are adjourned. Be safe going home, y'all.